The great thing about my course, whether it's for men or women, you'll see it for yourself. You don't need a scientific study. You will see it and like, wow, that's because we'll actually go out in public and we'll do it out there and you're like, wow, that is true, huh? Like you see it. It becomes really obvious. But if you're stuck in your matrix brain, you can't see it. And that's something that Morpheus said to Neo. He said, sadly, we can't tell you how to see it. You have to see it for yourself. One of the things is understanding that we have these pre-programs. Programs are shortcuts. It's exactly like in a computer. You got programs running versus going out in the real world and seeing things for the way they are. When you have meta programs running unconsciously, you're asleep. You're not there at all. This is what the whole movie was about, The Matrix. You're not seeing what actually is right now in the moment. You're not seeing reality. You're got your meta programs going on in the back of your head. You're thinking, well, I don't believe that, or I do believe that. I mean, you will see you believe something or don't believe something based on zero evidence. It will be based on a program that's automatically responding. There's no thinking. There's no thinking or perceiving at all. It's just, this is how I respond. This is how I respond. Okay, I got a great one. Okay, I was at the gym, and there was a guy there that would just always start conversations with me, and no matter what I said, he would say, oh, I don't believe that, or I disagree. No matter what I freaking said, he disagreed with. It didn't matter what it was, right? I could even agree with him. This is the true mismatcher, by the way. You can literally agree with a mismatcher, and then they will mismatch you, and they'll disagree with you agreeing with them. They'll say, oh, well, I don't actually believe that. I'm like, dude, you just said it like 5 minutes ago. Oh, I did? And their brain kind of goes, wait, did I? Because they're not thinking. They're not home. They're just automaton. Now watch what I did. So it was kind of getting heated, and I said, look, I don't even want to talk to you anymore, dude. And so he's like, why? I don't understand. I go, dude, because no matter what now at this point there was a group of people. I would say there was 12 people, literally.
Now, also at this point, I had very clearly figured out that this person was 100% mismatcher, and I realized all I had to do was tell him that he was going to disagree with me, knowing he was going to disagree. And I did it because the crowd was there, and I knew that once I said that, they were going to see it.
Literally, I was sitting on a bench here, he was sitting on a bench there, and a crowd had formed. Not a big crowd, about 12 people. And I said, dude, no matter what I say to you, you're going to disagree. What do you think he said? No, I won't. The entire crowd just burst out laughing. I go, yes, you will. No, I won't. And they started bursting out laughing again. So that is a true mismatcher. Now, here's the problem. If you are running off of programs blindly, you're kind of screwed. You will make decisions based on the right or the left, this or that, not based on what you really believe and what you really feel. Everything you do is an automatic program based on the church you went to, based on the movies you've seen, based on the TV shows, based on a favorite teacher that influenced you to believe such and such. These are not your thoughts. They never were. And I will tell you something right now. When you snap out of it, when you come out of the matrix, it's going to be a shock at what you actually see. I'm going to give you one more example. When I meditated for 12 years, about the 8th year, approximately the 8th year, 7.5, 8.5, I woke up. I went through a spiritual awakening that was fucking incredible. All my limitations, all my beliefs, everything was just gone. And I was perceiving and experiencing things for the way they were right now. All right? It's called consciousness. I woke up one morning and I automatically knew something was different. There's a long story that leads up to this, which I'm not going to go into now. I remember looking around my room and like the walls looked different. I'd lived there for a while. They seemed kind of stained and not stained, but got a little dust and dirt and just a little bit darker. And I'm like, what? Because in my mind's eye, it was like these bright, clean walls. Because when I first moved in, that's what they looked like because they were freshly painted, right? After so many years, now here's what happens. It's just like I'm pointing at my computer. It's just like in a computer how you've got your cache, your history, and your memory. What happens is when you first open your computer, it goes on the internet and it takes a picture of that website page and it brings it back in. So then it could be 6 months later, if you haven't cleared your history or cache, it, instead of going out there, it goes right here first and looks for it, and then it'll show you that. But like, take me, I changed my website homepage, I would say every 3 to 6 months. So if you haven't cleared your history or cache, you might be looking at a website of mine from 2 years ago, and you're not actually looking at my current website. That's part of waking up. So when I woke up, the second thing that I did was I looked at my hands, and it looked like they had aged by about 12 or 15 years. In my mind's eye, the last image I took was when I was probably about 10 or 11 years old. And I looked at my hands, and they have a couple scars right here, a couple scars there. The knuckles were kind of wrinkly and kind of rough. And then I had rough spots on my palms, and I was like, what the hell? And I realized what was happening was I was seeing my hands for the first time in over 10 years. You think, what are you talking about? In my mind's eye, whenever I'd look at my hands, I wasn't looking at my hands. It would go to the picture I took 10 years ago or 11 years ago. This is what's called the matrix. A lot of people walk around like it's still 1976, the way the world was back then. Because even though it's the year 2021, depending on how old they are, they're not going out into the real world and perceiving the world for the way it is right now. They're going into that history cache box or that memory card, and they're pulling it out what it was back then. And they have beliefs that are no longer true, that no longer apply to the world, and say, oh, this is the way the world is. And everyone who is born after that looks at them like, what? What are you talking about? Or people like me who've done a lot of clearing and a lot of healing work, we're like, no, it's not. No matter what you say to those people, this is what they're seeing in their memory card, and they're looking at the world. Here, let me do this one's cooler. I'm going to end it with this. They're looking at the world through their rose-colored glasses or green glasses or red glasses or yellow or orange glasses. And they're saying, yes, this is the way it is. And you're like, no, it's not. These are people, and I call them like, these are people that won't let go of the 70s. Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. Remember, you're looking through filters. If you want to clear your filters, go ahead and give me a call. Go to Mike at MikeColleen.com. God bless you guys. Check out my website. Remember, click like, click subscribe, make a comment. See you soon. Bye.